Okay, so today was a darned interesting day. But anyway, I had some situation with some of the storages today, actually this morning. And later I went back and there was an overlock over one of my storages, and all three are paid for. Yeah. As a matter of fact, the overlock was on a storage I just paid for this morning. Yeah. By the same person that I paid it to. But anyway, it's been interesting. So I have to tell you some really good news. That homeless lady with the little doggy went in the hospital for, I guess, over a week. And she claimed she didn't have corona, but she said she went in with pneumonia and COPD. Yeah, she stayed in a hotel for a couple nights after that for like $60 a night. And I said, well, all of them are high this year because so many tourists moving here. So everybody's jacking all the prices up. And I said, your cheapest deal is to go over to economy. And she said, well, that's just so high. So we were talking, and she looked at one of the U-Hauls I had rented. I did a truck, and then I did a van for 2 days to move stuff with. I have vehicles, but I just don't like moving stuff in them because it tears them up. It's really rough on them. But anyway, she looks at that van and she says, wow, 1995. And I said, yeah. I said, and then, of course, mileage and stuff. And so then she's thinking, and she's like, wow, well, I could live in that. I said, I don't know. I said, you have to pay by the day, but again, it's cheaper than a hotel, I guess. As long as you don't drive it a lot of miles or anything. And I said, you probably could. I don't know. I said, you'd have to see if they let you rent it like for a day, for like a week or a month or something. So I've got some friends in U-Haul business, so I made a couple calls and asked silly questions and told them, what it was really all about. And would that be possible? And they said, well, yeah, you could. She said, I have a guy that rents like a month or two at a time, and he travels all over. So for his work. So that's why he does that. And I said, really? And she says, yeah. And sometimes he sleeps in it on the road. I said, really? I said, that might be the new boondocker thing where people that don't have cars or whatever just rent a U-Haul. I'm going to tell you, U-Haul's a lot easier to rent than a rent-a-car. Rent-a-cars these days, I have total insurance coverage, and they pay for all that, and I don't even have to really do anything except for like show ID and reserve a 2-penny marker on a credit card to make sure that they could charge back to a credit card if I exceed the insurance limit or something, what the insurance pays. But if you try to rent one without car insurance and stuff, through your insurance company, like say your car get hit or whatever, then it's like a $250 deposit, and you have to show paychecks. I've heard people tell me some weird stories of what they have to do to try to rent a car. And then even if somebody else rents the car for them, it's a real problem to go down and pick up the car. So actually U-Haul's a lot easier, by far. So anyway, and now you can reserve them. Not only can you reserve them in person, you can go to their website and reserve it. And now they got a thing where you can just do it all on your phone and reserve it. Yeah. That's pretty cool, huh? So anyway, so she says, I told her, I said, I'll have to check around and see what I can find out. So today I saw her driving in a U-Haul. She passed right by me. I'm like, what the heck? But she got a truck, and she really needed the van. But the vans are a separate entity. It's something about they're leased from another company or something. And so those are like $100 deposit just to use. But anyway, so I called her and I said, "What's going on?" And she says, "I'm moving my stuff out of this storage. It make me so mad. I just paid storage yesterday." And I said, "Well, so you got yourself a truck?" She goes, "Yep." I said, "Why didn't you get the van?" She said, "They don't let them go, like, out of the area or out of state or something." I said, "You are kidding me." And she says, "No, that's what they told me." I said, "Well, that's interesting." And so, anyway, she got a job in Lower Florida. I'm not going to say the city or anything, but she was on Craigslist, and she called this person, and there's a handicapped person, and they need somebody to take care of them. And so they gave you like free room, board, and pay. And so she called him, and sure as heck, she's headed that way. And she is so excited. They paid for the U-Haul. They're paying for the whole thing for her to go down there. So she loaded all her stuff up and hit the road, Jack. Yep. And she's driving all the way in. She used to be a truck driver too, she says. So she's used to the big road and stuff. So she's real excited. I hope it works out, because that's kind of a sight unseen thing. But she said she used to do some care like that at times for people that needed help. And so that was just a blessing that she got that. Total blessing, because they're paying her way down there. She says she got 3-day rental on the U-Haul. So she's already down at Tallahassee this evening. So, yeah. So that was really good news, because like tonight, it'll be 35, not counting the wind chill factor. Tomorrow will be colder. And it's just kind of fluke weather. It's not normal of Florida to be this cold. I've seen it colder. I've seen it 15 degrees before, a few years back. As a matter of fact, I had a battery that went bad in a Cadillac on that very night. Whoa, it was cold. But yeah, that was really, really good news. And so, I've got her number and everything, and I'm going to touch base with her and make sure everything's worked out well for her. Because it's been really, really hard for her. Very, very hard. And now that she's left, I can tell you what she was doing, where she was at. She was sleeping in the hallways of the building over by the Lenny's, by Santa Rosa Mall. And then Lenny's was feeding her, and the Lenny's sandwich shop, they were taking care of her a lot. They were feeding her. McDonald's was paying for all her food, and she has a little doggy too, so she orders the food for the dog. So they were all paying for it because they knew she was homeless. And she was illegally evicted out of Panama City, Florida. She's out of Alabama, but she moved to Panama for her son. So he had some legal problems or something, and pretty much wiped out most of her money. She was retired and all that stuff. And so she was put out, just like I was, out of my place. And she made her way out this side to see if she could get something to rent or whatever. And you just can't rent anything here. It's just, there's nothing to rent. And if you do see anything for rent, by chance, maybe 1 or 2 listings, they won't last many hours. It'll be $1,400 and up. I've seen them $1,600, $1,700, $1,800, and $1,900 a month, which is not. The rent in this area is normally $600 to $900. And luxury stuff's like $1,000 a month. So, and I had told her this too. I said, the rent, it's just not cheap here. And it's not going down real soon unless the stock market crashes. And, I mean, it will in time. And it probably will come soon because Biden's going into office. I'm just seeing it. I'm seeing it coming. Because when Hitler goes in, then the stock market will crash. So, but that was really good news. I'm so happy for her. She's tried. She was, I sent her down to Harbor Walk Village where she could go with the dog and stuff, and it's real dog friendly. And she met a nice man there, David, and who took her in for about a week. And then that was it. And so she was really excited because she got a bath, for a couple times. And but I felt so bad for her. She just had a sleeping bag and she would sleep on the concrete out there in the cold. And she didn't have a car. But she has a driver's license, so that was the good part. But anyway, so it was really exciting to see her pack her stuff up. She was in such a hurry. She was just tossing it in that U-Haul. I mean, it was falling in the ground, everything, just throwing all her stuff in there. And she was so mad at the storage girl there. Boy, I'll tell you, it was ridiculous. But yeah, so she's on her way on the road and doesn't have to sleep in the cold anymore. And the thing about her is she never begged. She never stood on the street corner with a sign or anything. And never asked anything much of anybody. She just was homeless. Like I always say, the real homeless are not out there begging and have a cardboard roll-up sign at the street corner. Those are professional hustlers is what those are. Those aren't real homeless. Those are people that want you to pay for their lottery tickets, their beer, and their dope. Yep. And as long as you'll hand it to them, by God, they'll take it. The real homeless are dragging a little cart or buggy with their worldly belongings, and they don't stand out there asking for anything. So, yeah. So, what a blessing. I'm really glad for her. I'm staying in touch with her. She's going to call me when she gets into the town she's going to. And, it just made my day. It really did. Not to mention the fact that when I went down to the Walmart gas station, my friend Danielle, he looks like a guy that used to be a doorman at Harvey's in California, and his name was Chewbacca. We used to call him Chewie for short. And he looked just like Chewbacca from Star Wars, except he didn't have the long hair on his shoulders and legs. And this guy was the neatest guy in the world. Unfortunately, he passed away because he liked speedballing. And it's really hard on your heart. And he was only about 30. And he died from his last party. So, but this guy reminds me so much of Chewie. It's amazing. Just a really nice guy. A big, huge guy. I mean, this guy is like towering over me, kind of doorman looking guy. Really nice person. And he always treats me nice when I come in the store. And I always tell him, he'd say, "How are you?" I said, "Great, now that I saw you." And he gets a real big kick out of that. And I've told his managers and stuff too. I said, "This guy is wonderful. He's just, you're really lucky to have that good of an employee like that." And they sure like him. So when I went in today, I was, just holding my breath going, man, it just couldn't be any worse. After that drama with the storage stuff. And, so he said, I told him hi, and he was real sweet. And I said, "Here, do you want this?" And I said, "What?" And he had one of those little Reese's, like, Easter things or something. And he had ate one, and he had the other one left. And I said, "Sure." He said, "I can't eat the other one. It's just too sweet." And I said, "Sure." And I said, "Thank you." I said, that, seeing you today and that right there, that gift, I said, made my whole day. Just made it better. So that was really fun. But anyway, I hope you guys have a really great day. And as always, do something kind for a stranger. Love everybody. And too much of a good thing is wonderful. We'll take lots of that. Talk to you later.